It is evening in your life.
Boom. Good evening and welcome to episode 54 of Pillar Talk. I'm Tyler and I'm monotone as shit today. We're sitting here with J.R. Adams and he's a fucking stuntman. He's fucking wrestler. He does commercials, man. You've probably seen him a million fucking times. You don't even know it. What's up, bro? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks for having me on, man. It was great when you said that Pillar Talk, man. It brought me back to a kid being in Detroit, listening to Pillow Talk and Alan Allman. It was very, very smooth. So I like the name of your. I like the wordplay there.
Well, it was a play on Pillow Talk, but because that's funny. But Pillar Talk, we're talking to pillars of the community, so we might as well, So thank you for that, because that was a good name I came up with.
I like it.
His one good name.
I'm gonna ride on that forever. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I'm a local Detroit guy. You guys are down in Toledo, right?
Yeah, well, I'm from Monroe.
Okay, all right, yeah. So I'm a local Detroit guy. I grew up the downriver area. Been around quite a bit. I got into pro wrestling. I was a pro wrestler for about 12 years. I had wrestled for WWE a few times, TNA, wrestled all over the Midwest and Canada, and got into stunt work when I broke my back wrestling. I broke my back in 2011 in a match, and so I decided to get out of that and get into stunt work. And once stunt work started picking up, I retired from wrestling, and I've been doing the stunt work ever since. A lot of television shows, a couple movies, but mostly a lot of television stuff.
So, wait. So what you're saying is you were beating people's ass, getting your ass whooped in wrestling, broke your back, and then you start getting flung off cars?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's people always say that. They're like, oh, so you wanted to get into something safer, so you got into stunt work. I'm like, yeah, but it actually is safer. I mean, when wrestling, very little. I usually just had knee pads. That was it, and everything is live. It's you're doing it right then, and
right.
Whether no room for errors, and a lot of things can go wrong.
Can't edit that video.
Stunt work, though, man. I'm always landing on pads, which is great. If I can land on a pad, it's there. We get all padded up and we rehearse it. We know what's going to be happening, at least as much as we can humanly control. So a lot more rehearsal and stuff like that. We know where we're going to land, as opposed to wrestling. I never know where I'm going to land. So it actually is a lot safer.
Yeah, dude. I guess that's right, because CK was in here, said he got his leg broken.
Oh yeah, CK. Yeah, I've seen video of him getting his leg broken. But yeah, I had lots of injuries. I broke my leg in the ring. I used to break my finger here and there all the time. I'd break my nose like at least once every 6 months. And then the worst of all was back in 2011. I broke my back. I broke one vertebrae and crushed another one during a match. So
what
yeah.
happened? What?
I was actually doing a match in Warren, Michigan. It was I remember it because it was tax day. So it was April 15th at a high school. Big fundraiser show, huge crowd of kids, hot show. I was doing a tag match, me and Jamie Cox, who's my best friend. We were tagging up against Nate Matson and Gutter, I think it was. And towards the end of the match, I put him up in an Abyss backbreaker where I'm, got the torture rack. I'm going to sit down onto my butt. It's going to be an Abyss backbreaker. Well, unfortunately, his legs got tangled up in my arm, and I dropped down, and all of his weight stayed on my shoulder instead of sliding off of it. And so it compressed my spine, broke one vertebrae, like I said, and crushed another one. So that was a lot of fun. But I did finish the match. So.
Oh wow! Hey, bro, you could have been paralyzed, dude. What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing, man. I got super lucky. I know how lucky I am, because it could have gone either way. I actually didn't even go to the hospital until the next day. I kind of thought that I might have broken some ribs in the back, and so I thought they really can't do anything about it. So I'll just give it a couple of days and see how I feel. And by the next day, I was in so much pain. I was like, nope, definitely, I'll go into the hospital and have it checked out.
Yeah, stunt work. I'm gonna get fucking blown up out of a building and land all safely on this fucking pad.
Yeah, that's way better than having somebody on my shoulders and breaking my back.
Either way, that's.
I seen you taking harder falls doing the stuntman thing than you did in wrestling.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, I'm usually padded up underneath my wardrobe and stuff like that. And if if the camera can't see the ground, then there's a pad there. We're landing on softer stuff. And plus, dude, like I said, when we rehearse it so much, I know how I'm gonna fall, so I can maneuver my body for least amount of impact to my body. So like I said, wrestling, you never know how that's going to work out. So this, we rehearse so much before we actually film it, just to make sure everybody's safe.
Oh, so it is a lot safer then, I guess, because that live shit, you're jumping off of fucking cages and shit.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't jump. Man, that's crazy, dude. I would never guess that fucking stunt work is less dangerous than fucking wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have the unions involved. We always have safety protocols. I mean, if there's any fire involved, we have at least 2 fire safety people.
Okay.
If there's a big stunt going on, we have an EMS on site all the time for bigger stunts, just in case something goes wrong. So it's so well rehearsed and secured that yeah. I mean, if something goes wrong, they'll know it quick and they'll get it fixed quick.
You ever get hurt doing stunt work?
No, that's the whole thing. I've never got hurt doing stunts, only doing wrestling. I've got, I had a couple times where we, had a little bit rougher landings and stuff like that. So you'd be sore the next day, but nothing like
get the wind knocked out of you type shit.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff happens all the time. Somebody accidentally, you're in a fight scene or somebody accidentally headbutts you in the face or something. Stuff like that will happen, but nothing, knock on wood, nothing that has been as bad as any injury I had wrestling.
What's the craziest stunt you did?
The craziest, well, the funnest for me, excuse me, is I did a show called Outsiders for a couple of years where I was stunt doubling for Ryan Hurst, who a lot of people know. He played Gary Bertier in Remember the Titans, and he was also famously Opie on Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
So we did a show called Outsiders. It's about a family that lives on a mountain, and they use ATVs to ride around everywhere. So they're kind of, they're off the grid. So they have this tradition when they do a figure 8 with the ATVs and hit each other with bats, and whoever falls off first loses. So we did that scene, and then the scene ends where I'm going towards him. I go to hit him. He ducks out of the way and puts rebarb in my front tire, and I go flying over the handlebars. That one was we prepared quite a bit for. Did a lot of rehearsing and a lot of stuff with and it was one of the funnest things I've ever got to do. So it was a blast. We did it one time and they said cut, and I was like, cool, and let's do it again. They're like, no, we got it. And I wanted to do it some more. But
that actually Outsiders and Banshee are 2 of my top 10 favorite shows of all time. And when I saw you were on both of those, I was like, fuck yeah, I gotta talk.
He was on the show too.
I know.
Yeah, Banshee was cool. That was also filmed in Pittsburgh. That really got me kind of my start. I had done a couple smaller things, in different projects, but that one was my first big project. On Cinemax, besides Batman vs Superman. So that got rolling. I got to do an episode of Banshee, and that led to me getting booked for the role on Outsiders too, to double Ryan Hurst. So yeah, it's both. Those are 2 shows that'll always have spots in my heart. That's for sure.
What'd you do for Batman vs Superman?
I actually played a Metropolis cop. Nobody recognized him because I had short hair and no beard and no mustache or anything. But I was one of the cops that arrested the guy on the wheelchair that climbed up the statue and spray painted it. I was one of the cops that arrested him and threw him in the cop car and stuff like that.
Oh, that's sweet. So how long was you you in the actual movie?
It's like a 1.5, 2 minute scene. I shot 2 days, one at the studio in Pontiac and then one on location in Belle Isle. It's maybe a 2 minute scene, and I don't even know how many times you could, you're not even seeing my face the whole 2 minutes. I'm just saying that the whole scene takes about 2 minutes.
Right. But you took 2 days to tape 1 2 minute scene.
Yeah, exactly. And where you see me for maybe 30 seconds.
Right. Yeah.
You always need more film than you think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit. How many times have you had to redo a stunt? until you got it right? Like, what was the worst one you couldn't do?
Uh,
Like it was the
Jesus.
hardest.
Well, we always do so many takes anyway because we shoot it from different angles all the time. Thank you. Thank you for my wife for bringing me a beer. So we always do multiple takes of the stunts for different angles, like fight scenes and things like that, because we'll have cameras from different angles, so we got to get all those angles. So there's not really been a stunt where I've like missed something and not been able to do it, because even if that take, if I'm doing something and it doesn't necessarily come out right from the other angle, I'm going to make sure that comes out right. So they'll have all the different angles. But luckily, I've never had something where I just kept screwing it up and we had to do it over again. We just naturally always keep doing it over again. Lots of takes.
Different angles, different points of view, all that shit. Okay.
Yep.
Damn, dude, that's cool, dude. First movie star on our podcast.
Yeah, you said that earlier, and I said you're using that term very loosely.
You were in the dawn of justice, bro. I'm a fucking celebrity. Dude, what other shows did you work in?
I've done a bunch. I got to do The Punisher on Netflix. Actually, you can see the poster behind me. I'm in my living room. My living room has all the movie posters of different projects that I've been in. So, I got to be in Punisher. So that's kind of cool because I got to be in a DC and I got to be in a Marvel. So I'm in both universes.
You're a real hero.
Yeah. So I've done that. I've done a couple episodes of Blue Bloods. Done Chicago PD. I did a Showtime show called The Shy. Done a few others too, but yeah. Actually, let me look. Yeah, Batman vs Superman, Chicago PD, Banshee. Oh, Ray Donovan. Yeah, Ray Donovan. I did actually had a pretty big part on one of the episodes. Ray Donovan.
Our buddy loves Ray Donovan.
Oh yeah.
Watched it probably 6 times all the way through.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's a good show. I was lucky to be a part of it. I got booked to do one episode where I was in a boxing gym and I was just in the background, basically just hitting the heavy bag while another scene was going on. And then luckily the stunt coordinator liked me and he brought me back for an episode later on where I got to have a big fight scene with one of the lead characters, and which was in this championship fight, this like undercover bare knuckle fight. And it was the big championship. And I got to have a really great scene with him. John Voight was in the scene, Eddie Marson, these legends in the film industry, and I got to be in with them, which is really cool. And so that scene, that was a lot of fun. Big fight scene.
That's sweet, dude. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're a wrestler, dude. Come fight this guy. You're the new champion."
Yeah. My character's name was Billy Gator. I was a fighter, like a street fighter from Louisiana. So,
Billy Gator.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I kind of specialize in fight scenes and stuff like that because of my wrestling. That's why I got into it too. I'm like a brawler. There's martial arts fighters, and then there's brawlers. I'm definitely more of a brawler, but that's why I got into the stunt work, straight out of the wrestling.
Oh, that's cool. And then wrestling, because you were in WWE and on Impact. That's what's got you in there. Stunt.
Yeah, because actually who helped me out a lot was Zach Owen. Me and Zach Owen came up in the business together. We started out the same time. We used to travel together all the time. He's like my little brother. I love the guy, but he actually, Michigan had a good tax incentive for filming, so a lot of stuff was filming here. And he got hired by this war movie to do a stunt, and what they were doing is they were going to shoot his leg off with a cannon, so it was a great effect. But I told him, I'm like, man, that is so cool. I've always wanted to get into stunt work. I remember when I was a little kid, when I was a kid in high school, I used to like barrel roll over desks and stuff like that and do ridiculous things. And I always said I wanted to be a stunt person. And so it worked out. Zach actually introduced me to the stunt coordinator that helped him out. I got to get talking with him. He introduced me to another stunt coordinator. He introduced me to another, and so forth, and just began networking from there. And then started getting booked to do TV shows and movies.
Dude, fucking, that's awesome, dude. How long were you in the WWE?
Well, I was never in WWE full time. I would just work dark matches, and then I actually did even a SmackDown match for them. Whenever they would be in Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, they would always bring local talent in to come and do tryouts. And then if they needed somebody to fill in for a match, they would pull us to do that. So I got to wrestle on Heat a couple of times. I wrestled on SmackDown, did a couple of dark matches for them.
I seen that you and CK wrestled Jesse and Festus.
Yeah, that was fun. That was live on SmackDown, which is amazing for me because I grew up going to Joe Louis Arena watching WWE back in the day, and so for me to actually be in the ring at WWE at Joe Louis Arena it was very surreal. It was an awesome experience, and yeah, CK is a really good friend of mine. I've traveled with him so much, and to be able to share it with him was even cooler to be with my friend in there.
Yeah, we shared your work on the Spotlight, some of the stuff you were doing in that match. I remember that match, the debut of fucking Jesse and Festus when they were on him. I didn't know that fucking Jerry the King Lawler literally was like, these two guys they have really prolific amateur careers, and I was like, dude, the King just said that and JR is fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It was cool because obviously the crowd is full of people that come to the independent shows. So guys that actually knew who I was, and usually those are the really big hardcore fans, and those are usually the ones in the front row at WWE. So there was about 30 or 40 people right around the ring who knew who I was and started an Eddie chant. And I actually wrestled as Jay Adams on SmackDown, but they were doing an Eddie chant for Eddie Venom. Yeah, it was really surreal. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
That is cool. Mr. McMahon's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, don't cheer for that guy. That guy.
It's not his name on this, motherfuckers. Have you ever met Vince McMahon?
Yeah. Every time that I worked there, I would always make sure I introduced myself to him and Stephanie and everybody who was there. That's kind of part of wrestling. Anytime you go into work for a company, whether it's an independent or a big like that, you always introduce yourself to the people and make sure they know who you are.
Dude, that's sweet.
So talking about wrestling real quick, in the WWE, I hear a story that you were a druid once.
Yeah, that's another thing that I did. I was actually a druid a couple times. I was a druid at Cobo Hall when they did Saturday Night's Main Event. It was the first time they brought it back in years and years, and it was at Cobo. And I got to be one of the Undertaker's druids. We carried a big casket out to the ring. And then I got to be for WrestleMania when it was here at Ford Field. I got to be one of the druids again. I got to carry a torch out to the ring.
You were at WrestleMania, dude. You're a fucking legend, bro.
Yeah, I was one of the druids during WrestleMania, and I'd wrestled for WWE at some shows, in some arenas and stuff like that. So I knew about the crowd, but Ford Field, that's a way bigger crowd. That was 85,000 people or something like that. So when I walked out the stage with this torch and just looked out, it is an unbelievable sight and an unbelievable feeling to see that 85,000 people. And they're all looking at you. It's crazy. It's just one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
You ever met the Taker?
Oh yeah. Every time I did the druids for him, he would always come and talk to us and tell us what he wanted and stuff like that. One of my fondest memories is backstage at one of the WWE shows. Mick Foley and Undertaker, we were all backstage right by gorilla position where they go into out to the stadium, and we're all just hanging out, sitting there and watching the monitor. And Undertaker and Mankind, Mick Foley, started talking and just telling stories back and forth about times that they wrestled and like the Boiler Room match that they did. They were telling us all about that, and it was just so amazing to sit there and listen to those two legends tell stories, and just like me and my friends tell stories, like you felt like you were there. It was amazing.
Did they talk about the Hell in the Cell match?
Not right then. They were talking mostly about that boiler room match because I think they actually did. He was in Puerto Rico, or they were going to Puerto Rico right afterward, and because Taker was talking about how he got a cut in his arm, ended up getting infected and getting staph infection, and he had to go to a Puerto Rico hospital to get it drained and stuff like that. So that was just hearing these stories was insane. But yeah, it's a blast to be able to just sit there and listen.
Dude, I listened to The Undertaker on Joe Rogan's podcast. Like
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't heard that one yet either.
Oh my god, dude! He finally breaks character. He's fucking.
I saw him on.
He's
Hot
Mark
Ones.
when he's on there, dude. He's just Mark. He's fucking dude. He's so cool.
Well, I'll tell you what, those when he did the Stone Cold session or the Broken Skull thing with him on WWE Network, that was amazing conversations, man. To hear all the stories and to hear him as him for once, you know, I mean, he's my all-time favorite. So I love like everything he does.
Hot Ones broke him open. He was on Hot Ones.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 days before he officially retired, and he broke open the eggshell just a little bit on that.
Yeah, dude, I think it's fucking because he was talking about he never broke character for fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
he was on the gimmick.
He was on Ricky Lake being the Undertaker.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I think he's the most legendary. But he was my all-time favorite.
Yeah,
especially the fucking Brothers of Destruction, bro. Him and Kane, dude, those guys were nasty.
Yeah.
Kane with the mask.
Yeah, I liked with the mask.
Yeah.
He's way scarier with the mask.
Yeah.
That the first mask though, the red and black one.
Yeah,
that's the one I like.
The red and black one with the hair on it.
Barely a piece at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, dude.
I agree.
You're a fucking legend, dude. I'm so close. I want to be a druid so bad, but I'm just tired. There needs to be a new one. Dude, Mr. McMahon. He said Mr. McMahon told him he needed somebody big, tall, gumpy like you. Just don't talk. The Undertaker.
You?
No, him told the Undertaker that. Mark.
Oh, okay. Before he became.
Yeah, he said he was sitting in the fucking thing. He was just sitting in the waiting room for 8 months. He'd go there and to get picked, and somebody walked in, was like, "Why ain't he fucking wrestling, bro? Put him out. Let's wrestle him."
Yeah, that's the you always hear stories about guys how they got their gimmicks, you know, and it's in that office with Vince McMahon, and he gives them the gimmicks, man, and it's pretty funny because there was always a story, I don't know if it's true or not, but Bret Hart and Terry Taylor were going to be getting hired and getting their gimmicks, find out what they're going to do, and he had 2 gimmicks. One was the Hitman, and one was the Red Rooster. And Bret got the Hitman, and Terry Taylor got the Red Rooster. And Terry's like, "Why can't I be the Hitman?" And he's like, "Nope, sorry."
Jesus.
I would hate being that gimmick that nobody, it's not gonna work, Vince. Come on.
No, it was the Easter egg episode.
No,
it was the Easter egg, and they were like, "Oh my god, they're gonna call me Eggman or something."
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, because that's the thing. I remember in the Paul Bearer's documentary that just came out, they were saying how Vince would always ask you if you had any special talents or anything like that, and you had to be careful because if it was something embarrassing, you didn't want to say it because then he would probably make that your gimmick.
Yeah, Mark, the Undertaker. Mark,
you know this guy,
I know him by name. But he likes to be called Mark. But okay. He said that when Mr. McMahon asked him that, he said he likes to sing in the shower, and he was like, "No, shower, man."
Yeah, he got lucky.
I think Carlito had to sing in a mock shower one time, if I remember.
Carlito, yeah. I
got to wrestle Carlito. I wrestled him for XICW. Yeah, right before I retired. It was like one of my last matches.
That's sweet. Did you beat him?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
One guy I always bring up. He's not any of my favorites, but he's just one that I remember from my childhood that just sticks in my mind, and that's Val Venus.
Val Venus? Oh, yeah, dude.
Hello,
ladies. Yup.
That was funny. It's so funny how things that were on back then, like they could never get away with now.
Oh,
Never.
fuck no.
It's so funny the things because I remember those vignettes with Val Venus they were pretty risque, man. I mean, they basically had some woman's head in his lap most of the time and stuff like that. It's like they could never get away with that stuff.
The Godfather would never exist today.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. There would never be a hoe train.
You know who I like? APA, the guy that goes, damn.
Yeah, Ron Simmons.
Ron Simmons, yeah. Damn, he just comes out in the middle of a show, bro. Something stupid's happening. He's like, damn.
I know. I like that. How great is that to get a gimmick just with one word?
Just say a word and leave, dude. You don't even get to fight nobody.
He gets flown in to WrestleMania to just say damn. That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Probably he got a good paycheck. Fucking nice. He gets to show his face on national television on the biggest fucking wrestling, show of the year,
That's insane.
Damn. I'm out. Peace out. I'm going home.
Love it. Damn. Cut. I'm done.
So how long have you been a stuntman?
Well, I started about 7 years ago when I started to transition from wrestling, but I was still wrestling at the same time. But then when about 5 years ago is when we started doing, when I got booked for Banshee and then started with Outsiders, and I retired from the wrestling and once the stunt work picked up. So doing it, somewhere between 5 and 7 years.
Dude, that's fucking sweet, bro.
I also saw you were on Man vs. Food.
Yeah, we did it back in the day. We did a episode of Man vs. Food. They were in Southgate at Mally's Bar, and they were famous for making the Guinness Book of Records biggest hamburger in the world. Yeah. So they made 180 pound, 190 pound burger with the bun and everything. And obviously, Man vs. Food, he would always do these food challenges, usually by himself, but obviously there's no way that he would be able to eat all that himself.
Right.
So what they did is brought in like 40 of us, different groups of people. Like there was some Detroit Derby girls, there was a Kiss cover band, there was some Detroit firefighters and a policeman, and then they had some pro wrestlers. And I was one of the wrestlers myself, Movado, Gutter, Big Chuck, a few others. We got to be on the show eating, and I'm always, my wrestling, I was like bigger than life, always very boisterous and making myself known. So I was placed right behind him on the camera, so I got a lot of camera time. We did a bunch of silly gimmicks while we were eating and stuff like that. And it was pretty fun. The episode came out pretty funny. I enjoyed it.
They got those wrestlers in there because they knew y'all motherfuckers are hungry.
yeah, pretty much.
Let's go, bro. We gotta get them fucking wrestlers.
I always thought that would be an awesome, career. Traveling around eating food. Not only are you eating for a living, but you're also promoting these local small businesses that have these things. That's like my dream. Be like maybe Action Bronson type fucking life,
But he did it too much, and then he ended up having to stop. He couldn't. He had health problems because of all the foods that he was eating, so he had to stop doing it. And now he does some other kind of show.
Some of that shit he was eating was called like car wreck and shit. Like,
massive amounts of food is never
like the
good
gut
for you.
bomber and shit, dude. You don't want to eat that every day.
Yeah, like not even just the amounts, but like when you would have to do the hot stuff. Man, that hot stuff gets so ridiculous.
I love spicy. Spicy's my favorite.
Man, I did I do a lot of charity work for United Cerebral Palsy of Detroit, and we do a big annual hockey game against the Detroit Red Wing alumni. It's a big fundraiser every year, and last year we did a special thing. I did a live version of Hot Ones with Darren McCarty as my guest, at a restaurant in Hazel Park called Frame, and all the proceeds went to the charity. And so we did a live interview where I would for about an hour, and we did the Hot Ones, and we kept doing hotter and hotter wings. And I'm not a hot wing guy. I'm not a hot spice guy at all. And it was pretty interesting, man. Some of those got to be pretty ridiculous, and both of us were hurt.
I hope that one day I'm on a show like that. You ever bring it back, bring me on. I know we can figure out something to talk about.
Yeah, I know, because I can't eat that stuff. I'll need somebody to.
Oh, I want that. That's my when I want food, I want like either noodles or spicy noodles, spicy seafood, something like that.
Yeah,
like Thai food. I love Thai food.
Yeah, that's fucking what? Oh, how do you know Darren McCarty?
Actually, I've known Darren for about 20 years. I used to bounce for his band back in the day when he was still playing for his band Grinder. And then we kind of lost touch for a while. And then a few years ago, when I started doing this annual hockey game against the Red Wing alumni, we started hanging out again. And he introduced me to the other alumni guys. And it's so funny because they were fascinated by my job, by the stunt work. And, kept coming, wanting to ask me questions and stuff. I'm like, and these are guys that I grew up watching on the Red Wings, it was insane. So,
dude, why are you asking me questions?
Yeah, so I started becoming friends with these guys, and they started inviting me out as a special guest for like a lot of their charity golf outings and hockey games and stuff like that. So I've been doing that. But yeah, me and Darren started hanging out again. He turns out he lives like a couple miles from me, and so. Yeah, we hang out. I would help him out with his podcast that he has, a Grind Time podcast. Check that out if you can. We just started basically all summer long because with quarantine, me and my wife weren't going anywhere. We were hanging out at home, and so Darren would just come over and we just hang out in my backyard all summer long, just hanging out. So he was. It's pretty. He's a good dude. Like I said, I've known him for years, and now that we got back together and after years of being apart, it's now we're just big goofy dudes that my wife can't stand when we get together too much.
That's me and T-Rup, right? I actually found out that where we met Darren is you were there. We just had no idea it was you.
Oh yeah,
it was at the Monroe Rhinos wrestling event.
At the Boatyard.
Yep.
Yeah, I went down there with them. Because when they start running shows again, I think Darren's going to be a little bit more involved in it. Darren's always been a wrestling fan, and he's done a couple of smaller shows with us here and there. So I think he's excited to get back in the ring.
That was a good time, a good fun watch. Even watching the crowd, that's my favorite part, more than even watching the wrestlers, is watching the crowd and people like you and Darren. You guys were over there like little kids.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else. Yeah. Throw them in the water.
Oh, yeah. You got to get involved. Yeah. And that's the thing about Darren. Darren is everything in his life he's passionate about. He is passionate about it and he loves it. And he's doing like 2 different wrestling podcasts right now. I mean, he's super into it and loving it. So, yeah, it's fun to watch him, and I egg him on just as much.
Right. Fuck it. Yeah, that's cool. My dad actually is the one that brought up those charity events that Red Wings and you guys do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, for some reason, I feel like Darren McCarty, because he was on the podcast. He's like, I feel like Darren McCarty played hockey with your fucking Uncle Brian for the charity thing, and I was like, what?
Yeah, probably.
That's
yeah, the Red Wing alumni. I've gotten to skate with them. It's a couple times, and they do charity events all over Lower Michigan. Different charities will have the big games to raise money for whatever charity it might be, and so yeah, those events are fun.
Dude, that's sweet. That's fucking cool. Do you play hockey?
Yeah. I've been playing all my life.
Can you beat up Darren McCarty?
Pardon?
Can you beat up Darren McCarty on the ice?
No, not on the ice. No, we have an understanding. I always tell him I won't mess with him when he's on skates. He won't mess with me when we're on regular shoes. So.
That's a good agreement, I'd say.
That's a very good agreement.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we have fun though. I've played against him a couple times, and it's always fun. And you always forget, You always because you know somebody for a while, and you always forget. Oh yeah, that guy used to play professionally, and he can smoke me on the ice right now.
That dude knows the Russian Five for real.
Yeah, like even the older guys, like Mickey Redmond plays with us a lot, and he's almost 80, and he's still like you get near him on the ice, and you can tell the skill level and the fact that he could probably kick my ass right now.
Those guys have been playing hockey since before they could walk, probably.
Oh yeah,
dude. The thing you said though, you said he bounced for Darren McCarty's band. What does that dude do? I see when he did the Claude Lemieux, dude. Like, what is he for?
Darren McCarty will deck anyone that comes near.
I was basically just so that people would leave him alone, so he could walk to the bathroom.
Hold on, let me put my skates on. I'm about to fuck you up, dude.
Hey, but hold for him or what? Yeah. Come on.
Pulls the fucking jersey over their head and just starts fucking uppercutting them, dude.
You got Jay in the background going classic.
Yeah, I probably would have. If he were to do, yeah, I'd probably have be holding the guy upside down by his ankles just to mess with him. So.
That's fucking hilarious.
So you like? Well, clearly you like doing the action movies. You're fucking action packed, dude. So that's like your genre that you like looking or watching and stuff. Do you watch the shows that you're on?
Yeah, but I usually only watch the episodes I'm on, except for like Ray Donovan. That was a good show. I like that. But like Blue Bloods, I've only watched a couple episodes that I'm in, and
I like
things like that.
Pardon?
Oh yeah. I did at least one episode of that. That was a lot of fun. We did a big group scene where a big group riot. So it was a bunch of us stunt guys together, stunt girls, and just. It's fun when you have a big group like that involved in a scene because we're just having a blast out there, just fighting each other and throwing each other around, and we're just trying not to laugh for the camera because we're having so much fun.
I think that would be the hardest part is keeping the serious face because you're having fun like that,
Oh yeah, it's especially for me because I'm always like, if I'm having fun, I'm always grinning, and most of the time I'm playing a bad guy, so I can't be doing that.
Like, oh my god, I can't wait to fall off this car.
Yeah, exactly.
They say cut, and he's like,
pretty much
gets all giggles out right now. Okay, ready to go. Serious. Right, just like what's that guy he wrestled's name? Festus. Just Festus when the bell rings,
Yeah.
Total change,
dude. That was honestly, Jesse and Festus were cool while they lasted, like, because it was funny. The bell rang. I remember a couple times Jesse would get jumped and the bell didn't ring, and the motherfucker just sitting there in the ring just looking stupid. Then Jesse gets over to the bell and rings the bell, and he kills everybody jumping Jesse. Like,
I miss that. I don't remember those guys.
It was
a fun gimmick, but it's like one of those gimmicks that can only last for a certain amount of time because you can only take it so far. But yeah, some of those gimmicks are so much fun, and that was one is because he played it off so good too. I mean, that's actually he's Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows. Yeah, that's
who Festus is, and so he played it off so good, and he had the way he had his hair and being partially bald and stuff. It just worked perfect. He played it great.
Oh, so that was he shaved it like that?
No, it's just that's how. But he left it so that it was like partially bald. Just to keep the look. Like now he's got it completely shaved off, but. Just to kind of make the whole look come together.
He's still on the WWE, ain't he?
No, he's with TNA now. Him and they're called the Good Brothers. I think it's him and I forget who else, but they're actually they're with TNA, but they also have their own like pay-per-view that they do. They have a podcast, and they did a pay-per-view. Unfortunately, I don't watch too much wrestling anymore, so I don't know. But actually, Darren was telling me all about it.
Yeah. See what they're doing out there, man.
Seriously, he was telling me on the way down to Monroe. Actually, he was telling me all about those guys.
He's probably like, I wonder if they smoke weed.
Yeah,
probably some cool guys, He come on the podcast. He was great, dude. He just talked for 2 hours. I just sat there and listened, dude. I loved it.
Yeah, that's him. Especially when, like I said, he's passionate about. If he's going to do something, he's going to do it all the way. And yeah, you could just listen to him. You could just let him go, and he give him a subject, boom, he'll go. And it's kind of like Kevin Smith. I don't know if you ever heard Kevin Smith his Q&As. There's only like 2 questions asked because he talks. He explains so much with the answer. He can talk forever. So
right. Yeah, dude. He was. He gave me some good insight on CBN for my. I have night terrors from a little bit of PTSD I got, man. And I've been looking into it, and he's fucking totally right. He just pulled that shit out of the air and was like, "Hey, CBN, dude, what do you say? It lays the bear down and puts the bear to sleep."
Yeah, exactly. He goes one lays the bear down, and two drops leaves air and puts it to sleep. Yeah,
dude, you knew it perfectly too.
Yeah, he brought me some. He brought me some a couple weeks ago, actually. And, yeah, he said you take 1. Just to kind of relax, and then 2, he's like, you'll be out. Yeah.
Wind down, 2 to fucking go to sleep.
That's so funny you said that because I could hear him saying it.
I thought it was the funniest thing. I was like, how did he fucking know? Because I'm very against taking medication. I hate the pharmaceuticals just don't sit right with me. And so I'm taking sleep meds right now, like the lowest dose I can, what they give old ladies. And I was telling him about the same shit, and he was like, "Dude, CBN, bro, CBN." Yeah. I've been looking it up and shit like that. I just gotta go get it now. So,
yeah, that guy is the person to talk to. He is so smart when it comes to all that, the CBD, the CBN, the THC. He knows way more than I've ever known. He's a genius when it comes to that.
Well, stuff. Like you said, he's fucking passionate about it. If he's if he's talking about it, he's passionate about it. And,
yep.
So that's a good thing because he has a lot of knowledge and he's a badass.
Yeah. He's taught me, and like I said, all summer we'd be hanging out in the backyard, and he'd be teaching me all about the different, all the different variations of the stuff and what works for what and what doesn't. So yeah, he knows his stuff.
It's weird how extensive plant medicine can go, and like they just haven't let us fuck with it, like because they're saying shrooms are helping PTSD, and microdosing shrooms is helping fucking patients that go to therapists every day, and then now they don't got to go to the therapist, and they're leading fine lives, actually going to work and everything on a fucking drug.
Well, that's why recently, like Oregon and other places have decriminalized mushrooms because the psilocybin.
Psilocybin,
yep. That's they're learning more about it because it was a Schedule C or whatever it was for so long. They really didn't research it like they had the opportunity to. So now that they're actually researching it more, they're finding the medical capabilities of not only the mushrooms, not only the marijuana, but all sorts of different plants.
Because they're decriminalized and shit. The government is like the schools that are funded by government, the colleges and shit. They're actually allowed to have classes, especially for THC classes. Like in Denver, they have classes where they just grow a fucking autoflower, and they're supposed to grow one bud, and they test it, and they're testing like 40% THC and shit like that. Like, so they're doing a lot of fucking research on it. And they have classes about it, and I just heard. I didn't really do no extensive research, but I heard they were opening a class in fucking Denver for it. So we're opening one of those colleges out there. They're opening up for psilocybin too.
I think you should be able to study whatever you need to study just to know. Like you just said, they're finding these things out about all sorts of different plants. Plants they've told us for years are weeds, are actually medicine.
Right.
Like dandelions are good for you. Like
most of the weeds, air quotes, weeds, they say are medicine.
Well, I mean, CBD oil has changed everything for me. Actually, Darren has his own brand of roll-on CBD, and that stuff is amazing. And it's got THC in it, and so people freak out. It's going to get you high. No, it doesn't get you high. The THC just makes the CBD penetrate your skin faster, and I have obviously have back problems because I broke my back, and that stuff I can roll that on, and it gives you relief within 30 seconds. It's amazing how good it works.
I've never tried anything like that.
Yeah, there's different kinds. There's CBD topical stuff that just by itself, and then there's CBD topicals that have the THC in it. And it's another one of Darren's sayings. He's saying the CBD is like you're on the guest list, but you still got to wait. You're still at the door. The THC means you can come right into the club right away because the THC is what makes the CBD penetrate the skin faster. And so it works faster. But yeah, that's another one of Darren's saying. He's like, CBD, you're on the guest list. You're going to get in, but you got to wait. But the THC, you can walk right in the club.
VIP list. Walk right in, get the room. I guess, dude. I mean, if he's saying it, I believe him, bro. Because everything he was right, you know?
Yeah. He came here and he was so knowledgeable. It blew my mind. And then I thought afterwards, like, why wouldn't he be? You know, if he put himself at that pro level where he was, why wouldn't he do that at whatever else he's passionate at?
I asked him, I said, why did you want to be an NHL player? He said, because they told me I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. I
was like, that's it, dude? Like, I thought you were going to have an elaborate story. You've been talking so much.
That's the thing. That's the best way to get him motivated, man, is to tell him he can't do something. He will do it right then. Dude,
that was crazy to me. And one of my good friends actually lives by that right now. He's like, that was the smartest thing ever. And he tells his little brother that all the time because he's in team sports right now. He's like, dude, when they say you can't do it, that's when you fucking. That's. He's just trying to get him hyped up, you know.
Yeah, but absolutely.
That's sweet, man. That's a great life. You have a great friend. You have a great.
I'm a lucky dude, man. I definitely am. I'm very picky about my friends and who I hang out with and actually be around. And I've gotten lucky with the ones that I picked. So.
Well, because you're a movie star, dude. You gotta be. They might see you fall off the car and be like, "Oh my god, I seen you get fucking punched in the face by that one."
That's only happened a couple times where I've somebody's recognized me.
Oh, really?
I seen someone recognize you at the wrestling event, bro.
Well, yeah, but that's because I was at a wrestling event and I used to be a wrestler, so that makes sense. But I mean, out in just like normal, regular, everyday things. It's only happened a couple times, but it's been funny when it did. Actually, my banker it was a commercial that I was in, but I was at my bank and there was all these two ladies that would always wait on me, and I kind of knew them, and she goes, so. She was wanting me to ask you, weren't you just in a commercial for the lottery? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I knew that was you. I told everybody here that was you. I was like, that was pretty funny. My banker recognized me off of a commercial.
You were on a 5 Hour Energy one too.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I ever did in the business.
Even look
outside
like
of wrestling. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, that was like one of the first things I like it was my first national spot for sure. Besides, outside of wrestling.
What'd you say?
I went.
What'd you say? 5 Hour Energy, get jacked.
No, he
said when they asked the question is like, when do you 5 Hour Energy? 5 Hour Energy. I said when I'm on overtime or something. I was I was a welder. I flipped up my thing and I'm like, when I'm on overtime. And then I said something at the end. I was like, every day is a 5 Hour Energy J or something like that. I don't remember, but I started it and ended it, which was kind of cool.
I thought you looked like a high school principal.
Yeah, shop teacher or something. Yeah.
Overtime.
I had the welding thing on. Yeah, it could have been a shop
overtime,
teacher.
Bro. You get off the whole summer, bro. Fuck out of your principal, fucking dean. Get the fuck. What the fuck?
I saw that today, and I was like, "Holy shit! I've seen this actual commercial on TV."
Yeah, that was national. I mean, that got shown, and it was funny because it would be on ESPN all the time. So like anybody that watched SportsCenter, it would play like 3 times during SportsCenter. I would get I would get text at like in the middle of the night from my buddies like over in somebody over in California, and they're like, "Dude, did I just see you on a 5-hour energy commercial?" I'm like, "Yes, you did."
Still up right now from drinking it.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I can't. I haven't slept in 4 days.
Yeah, I've been drinking this so fucking much, dude.
Welcome to the
Did you get paid, bro? You got
Yeah,
paid.
yeah, no, any commercials and stuff like that, it pays pretty good. It wasn't as good as it could. There's different things. There's a union commercial and a non-union commercial. Back then, I wasn't in the union yet, so I was doing non-union commercials, and those ones you don't get residuals for. But on union ones, every national commercial you do, every quarter, however many times it ran, you get paid for. I was hoping that this was one of those, but I was very young in the business and I didn't know any better, and it wasn't. So I got paid good for the day of, but I didn't get residuals, unfortunately, because that could have been a huge payday.
That's good to know.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody's gonna want me for a fucking commercial. I look like a felon.
Dude, that's everything that almost everything that I book on TV shows. I'm usually like a prisoner, a biker, stuff like that. So
Yep.
I mean,
It's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Be on a commercial, don't do drugs. You see what it did to me? you see what happens when you do drugs?
It took him eating a back of a van to straighten him out.
Do you want to die? You don't want to die to realize.
The camera deep into the camera and say that.
And they have to pull it because little kids are crying all over the country.
I don't get no residuals. I got a case. I got to go to court for it. Terrorizing America. Do you want to die?
Yeah, probably don't start with that. That's probably the first part right there.
Do you want to die? Well, don't do this. Dude, how did you even get into a fucking 5-hour energy if you were brand new in the business?
Well, that was when you're getting an agent, what you do is you send the agent your a headshot so that they can see what you look like and a resume, and then they decide whether they want to represent you or not. And I just got lucky. I had kind of a certain look, so I sent my stuff to an agent here in Detroit. There's only 2 agents here in Detroit that are affiliated with like they get like national kind of work, and so I sent my stuff to one, and I got a call a few weeks later. They said, yeah, we have an audition for you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I did an audition for a movie that was here. I didn't get the part, but then they kept sending me to more auditions, and this was just one of the regular auditions. And I always tell people that I don't necessarily get booked on my audition, but I'm very personable. I talk to the people. I try to make conversations so that can, and if they, just to show them that I'm easygoing and I'm easy to work with, and that's what usually I think gets me booked. I always say I book my stuff not from the audition, but from the extra talking to people, okay. Schmoozing basically,
From being a good person, just being personable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a personable person. I like people. So, even if I'm in an audition, I'm still going to be the same. So
better watch out, world. I'm about to be a fucking actor. I'm going to be the guy in the background snorting rails off the table. You don't see it in a movie.
I could see you playing that guy.
Hey, come here, man.
Or you'd be working on a car. You'd be some grease monkey.
Yeah, working on a car or something.
Yeah.
You'd
be a
prison. Yeah, that's what I do a lot of. I've done at least like 3 different prisoner, where I played a prisoner. So yeah, I get that a lot.
Damn, it pays to have face tattoos. See what I said, Dad? I knew this was gonna work.
You could be a mumble rapper. You could play a mumble rapper,
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah. Detention desk, that's cool.
Yeah, you could play a detention desk. Yep.
Actually, your voice, man, you could probably do a ton of voiceover work. What? You got a distinct low voice.
I keep
that's cool. I don't know how to do. I don't know.
He just doesn't know how to do anything.
I do. I just don't know how to get out there. I'm gonna give me a fucking agent.
I don't know either. But they, yeah, I know I have friends that are in voiceover work, and they do a lot of it, and they're just, especially with voiceover work, because you don't have to be on camera. You can set up your own studio at home and do all your voiceover work. I got a buddy that does a lot of stuff on Comedy Central, a lot of the voiceover stuff for the commercials and stuff, and he's got a whole separate house where he just has it as a recording studio. That's where he does all of his stuff, and dude makes bank, man. That's for sure.
Do you have unwanted hair down there? Well, take some there, rub it on there, lather it up.
I could so see you as like a cartoon character though, like with that deep voice.
Well, what's funny is that's actually when Brain Jerk was developed. The whole reason we got together was to make a cartoon.
Oh, really?
So at that time, we're like, "Can you draw? No. Can you draw? No."
What can we do? We had the whole idea.
I was gonna say you wanted to make a cartoon, but neither one could draw. What were you expecting?
We got this cartoon written out. Now it's like
that's like I want to open up a restaurant, but neither of us can cook.
Right? Yeah, that's it. Dude. But it's like, what can we do in order to get us to that point? And like podcasting. Okay, let's do that.
that like podcasting is going to teach you how to draw?
No, podcasting will buy us time.
So podcasting will allow you the money to hire somebody that can draw.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully we find an artist on here.
Anybody wants to help us out,
I like it.
Yeah. You never know what doors open up every day,
Yeah, because
that's true, man.
I have a whole entire illustration of the whole.
We know what the characters look like and everything in our own
I just can't draw a single one of them.
Understandable. Yeah, you just gotta become friends with somebody that can draw.
Yeah. Well, I got a tattoo artist, and
there you go.
He's way busy right now.
Yeah, we got it.
He just opened a couple businesses and shit, got pulled to LLCs and shit. I was like, all right, dude. I guess not so busy.
Have fun adulting, man.
Have fun being fucking a good man. Dick around with the boys and make cartoons, then fucking hit me up.
No, you want to be all responsible and shit.
Yeah, take care of your 3 kids and shit. Fucking lame, dude.
We got cooking shows in the work too. That you said everybody we know knows how to cook a little bit. We brought that up. Those aren't going to be live or anything. We're going to edit those videos. We got guests and judges and everything.
Yeah. So we got belts and everything, and we just got word from our venue.
Championship tag team belts.
Yep.
That's awesome.
What does it say? Family cooking competition?
It says family cook-off or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
And
shoot, I want to be a judge.
Dude, you
bro?
Bet. If there's an opening, I'll let you know.
I love food.
First Sunday of March is our first competition, as long as COVID doesn't stop it.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Our venue just called us and said they're opening up. So we're gonna go there and hopefully we can get our championship going again. I want those.
I'm so pissed off. Yeah, we fucking put our money into those belts and we lost them the first time. It was
and then
bullshit.
COVID shut down the second fucking competition because every 90 days it's a cook-off. COVID shut that motherfucker down, so they just got the belts sitting there getting dusty. Me, I'm out in public.
We win these belts. We're shooting promos with them. We're
absolutely, as you should.
Do you think you can cook? What? Do you fucking see the gold on my shoulder? Get the fuck out of here.
The Rock says.
My fantasy football team, we have a championship belt as well. My team sucked this year, so I don't have it though.
I'm usually not good at football. All my football teams suck. I'm a good at baseball though.
Who was your quarterback?
I had who did I have? I had Drew Brees, and then he went down for a few games. Who did I have to replace him? I forget. I don't remember. That was weeks ago, man. I can't remember weeks ago. Are you kidding me?
It's a Super
I've been
Bowl.
hitting the head a lot over the years, man.
City sucks this year.
Oh, you didn't make the playoffs? Nothing?
But what's funny is actually the last time I did play fantasy football, my team won, and we had an ornament, a championship Christmas tree ornament
Oh, that's kind of cool.
that hangs on my tree every year.
Nice.
Proud of that too. He's like he points
And-
at it every time I come over.
It's always in the front of the tree. It's never in the back.
It's always
It's always
way.
in the front.
It's the most one you could see.
I bought it, and I'm like, this will be the championship, and then I just so happened to win it. Dude, boom.
Yeah, dude, you're a fucking scientist at fucking
Baseball. Baseball is my thing, though. Fantasy baseball, because once you get a little bit, like not quite halfway, but almost halfway through the season, you see the patterns start to come through, because every player has a pattern, every team has a pattern. It happens.
So, are you like one of those beautiful mind guys where you just see numbers in your head when it comes to baseball, and they all just kind of add together?
I play Madden as the manager and use the analytics and stuff.
Oh wow, man, you're hardcore.
Yeah, dude. That's how I play those sports games for
Dude,
some
it's
reason.
so annoying. I live with him, bro, and I'd come home and he's just watching the fucking two teams play football.
I got buddies of mine that are like that with their hockey, fantasy hockey as well. But that's the thing for me. Like football is good because there's 16 games. I can handle that. Baseball, too many games, man. I don't have time to be that invested in it.
Honestly,
same thing with hockey, man.
My trick for baseball is you let it go about a quarter of the way through. Don't even touch it. Who cares? The one time I was down like 7 games from the playoffs, I squeaked into the playoffs and I won the championship.
Nice.
Like I didn't even. Once you see the patterns, there are patterns. Like this guy is better against this pitcher. It doesn't matter what team he's on. It just happens that way. Or this team.
Right.
It could be a shitty team and this pitcher is one of the best in the league, but guess what? They've got 4 dudes that just rake on this dude. And that happens every single day. Every, hot streaks, cold streaks, you can see them after a little bit if you pay attention.
Yeah, you got more time than I do, man. I can't
Anymore. A couple years. That was when I was fucking had nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen in Michigan? They're promoting gambling,
Legalized gambling
so much.
Every other commercial is for a different
I'll bet
ad.
on UFC, MMA, something like
I
that.
used
But that's
to-
it.
I used to listen to the radio. I listen to Spotify most of the time now, but I just turned the radio on today. There was 6 ads for betting online, duel and shit like that. And then they said, if you have a gambling problem, call the gambling upline.
Every time.
Yeah, and they only say that because the law makes them do it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's so funny. It's like, yeah, bet. But if you have a gambling problem, call this number. It's like,
Approach your
all
house and your wife has left you.
right, yeah.
Then
I
hit us
think
up.
you should go to Gambling Anonymous.
Gambling.
I would assume there's something like that.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
Hey.
there's Gamblers Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. There's all sorts of stuff.
Ooh, I got a question for you. Random question
Oh, okay.
for JR.
Yeah. Duh.
Okay. Would you rather be?
I was like, for me,
Would you rather be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
I feel like I am a small fish in a big pond right now, and I love it. I got into this business. I didn't want to be I didn't even want to be like a really necessarily anybody that even talks. I said what I really got into this business for is, so I'm a big 90s guy, and Jean-Claude Van Damme was one of my favorites of all time. I love his movies. They're cheesy as hell, but I love them.
Right.
But there was always this one guy that was in all of his movies. It was a bad guy, this big dude. He had shaved side head, longer hair, but he was in every single one. He was a bad guy. He would beat up JCVD all throughout the movie and then get killed at the end. But he was in every one of the movies. So I was like, I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be in all the cool movies, be a bad guy, beat up the good guy, and then get killed at the end. That's really what I wanted to be. And then, but it's, morphed into other things. I've, done acting stuff now and stuff like that. But that's always been my goal. I wanted to be, I didn't want to be a big superstar or anything like that. I want to have a consistent career and make a good living and have fun with what I'm doing. Cause I'm living my dream. I literally, when I was a kid, I was going to say, I'm going to be a stuntman when I grow up, and I've got to do that. So I get to live my dream, and I have a blast doing it. So I don't care about stardom or anything like that. I just want to have, enjoy my life and enjoy my career.
Fuck yeah, dude. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of chill, man. I'm kind of like live for the moment kind of guy. You know what I mean? I make plans, but nothing like, because I know everything can change in a second. You know what I mean? So I just had my first grandchild last month. So I'm assuming I'm going to be in 10 years, whatever I'm doing career wise or anything like that, and just hopefully be playing with my grandchild quite a bit. And hopefully, like, my goal is to be in some kind of movie where they'll make an action figure of me, and then my granddaughter can like go to the store and actually get an action figure of me. If I could do that, I could die a happy dude.
That's a goal. That's a good goal, dude. It seems like it's gonna work eventually, bro.
I'm close. Like there's an action figure of Ryan Hurst, from the show, and I'm like, it's kind of me because I did all the stunts for him. Yeah, but
yeah, that is funny.
It's you in spirit.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually funny. Fans of different shows are very, very loyal to their shows, and Outsiders had some cool fans, and there were some people that would make art or make dolls and stuff like that. And this one, Ryan sent me a picture. He's like, look, somebody made a doll of you. And it was obviously a doll of his character, but he was like, look, it's you. I'm like, well, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, because you are that character too.
Yeah, I'm the character doing the fun stuff. He's doing all the hard work, all the talking and stuff like that. I get to do, especially at that show. I got to ride ATVs through the mountains and get
that was
paid
cool.
For it,
so. The whole show drew me in from jump.
Yeah, we just were very unfortunate. We were very unlucky as far as timing, because we were actually about to start the third season. On a Monday, and the Friday 3 days before we actually got canceled, and then we find out 6 days later, WGN, the channel that we were on, the whole channel got sold to another company. So writing was on the wall. They were selling the network, and they didn't want to have any shows that they had to keep paying for. So especially on the 2 years, a lot of people were up for contract renewal and stuff like that. So it was a bad timing thing, and because I think if we would have gone a few more seasons, we could have had a pretty big show.
Yeah, I loved it. I watched it all the way through. I binged it.
So I watched it.
I did. It was one of those shows because I watched Opie. I forgot he was fucking Batir.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I forgot it until when I first, people used to tell me that I looked like Opie from Sons of Anarchy. When I had longer hair, I never watched Sons of Anarchy, so I didn't know who they were talking about. So finally, after like the 8th time somebody said that, I looked up who it was, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see it. I was like, oh, that's Sons of Anarchy guy. Okay, cool. Didn't really think about it anymore. And then I ended up getting hired to double him, and so I watched the whole series of Sons of Anarchy so I could kind of get his mannerisms, how he moves down and stuff like that. But I started doing more research, and I was like, remember the Titans? What was he in that? And then it clicked in my head. I was like, holy cow, he was Gary Bertier. He had no beard or hair, but I was like, man, I never put it together until that moment. It's funny.
And then Opie is one of the saddest deaths of all time, I feel, in cinema.
Oh yeah.
That's the one thing I hear most when they find out, that I worked for him. They always say the same thing. They're like, "Oh my God, I was so sad when he died in Sons of Anarchy."
With him and when the mountain squeezed Oberon's
head. Oh yeah,
Those
Oh,
two,
that was brutal.
yeah, both of those events, I was sitting on my couch in my living room alone, and I jumped up and screamed at the TV. No!
So yeah, that was Red Wedding for me. So
Yeah, that was like that.
Fuck, that's good. I never
Because
felt that way.
well, with the Game of Thrones, the writing was on the wall. You could see it happening, and you're yelling at him, "It's killing you, idiot!"
yeah.
See, Opie's death was crazy. It was sad. But the death that I hold most is fucking when Jax killed himself.
Oh,
Just rode into the van.
Yeah.
yeah, you got PTSD about that.
Well, okay.
He did that too once.
To a van.
Oh.
Put my arms out on purpose and do it though.
Yeah,
I did have Air Forces on.
yeah. You did. I did
Shout out Jax Teller.
That's funny.
Dude, actually, one of my pictures, I have white Air Forces on. I was going to a wedding, bro. I look like
You did not just look.
I didn't look just like him, but I look like I could be like his best friend.
You look
I
like
was gonna say, I was like, is he really gonna say he looked just like him?
Bro, bald as shit, fucking, bald, brown beard.
I've heard that once or twice myself, but I tell him, hell no.
No, I don't see it.
Not like this.
You're not scruffy.
No.
You wouldn't. He killed his mom in that movie, dude. He's a real one. That was
That's
in the
funny.
movie, the show. This is your last time to say something to the world.
Hang on.
What?
Do you have anything to plug before?
Oh, yeah.
Then we'll get to one last question. Like,
yeah,
media, what you got going on?
Well, the big thing that everything's kind of on hold right now for COVID, as far as events. But I'm really involved with a charity for United Cerebral Palsy in Detroit. We're going to get our Red Wing alumni charity game going again. It's just a matter of when we can do it safely and things like that. But my social media, everything, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook is all at @JAdamsStunts. So you can find me on there, and I'll always be updating about the different events coming up, different charity events, and where you can meet me, some other wrestlers, some of the Detroit Red Wing alumni, things like that. That's what I'll be doing. Unfortunately, just don't have anything set up just yet. We gotta wait.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're on the platform right now. What are you gonna say to the world?
One last thing to say to the world. What would it be?
There's too much anger and hatred in the world right now. Everybody needs to chill the fuck out a little bit. Sorry, my language, but yeah, no, everything is too stressful right now for everybody, for the kids that are having a hard time not being in school, to people who have lost their jobs, to people that don't think this is real, to people that are mad at those people. There's too much hatred and everything in the world right now. As we saw people trying to attack the Capitol, we need to relax as a human species. I mean, it sounds hippy dippy, it sounds ridiculous, but we need to start spreading more love that we can instead of hatred, because I know me personally is driving me batty and it's driving me insane, and I have PTSD because of it, because of how everybody is treating each other. So just just try to spread more love.
Yeah,
that's what we're
we
preaching
agree,
over
100%. 100%.
That was a good one. I like that last words. Dude, thank you for coming in and talking to us.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
You're the most famous guy that we had on.
No, that's not true, because I know you said you've had Darren on, so he's way more famous.
Oh, you're right. He has 4 Stanley Cups, dude.
Yeah, and he won't let you forget it.
What
Hey, when he signed our table, he put the years on there.
he put SC 97, 98, 02, and 08.
Every once in a while, I'll say something to him or something, and he'll just go,
Yep.
yeah, or
What are you going to say to a 4-time Stanley Cup champion?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say to him?
I'm like, I like 4 Horsemen better. So there.
Boom.
Right. All right, brother. Thank you for coming in, bro.
You bet.
It was good talking to you, having a conversation. That's it for episode 54 of Pillar Talk, guys. I'll see you later. Love you.
Peace.
Peace out.